Yes, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, what a great pleasure it is to be your moderator for our next session. My name is Laura Buckwell, and it's a great pleasure to be here for the first panel discussion of the day. And yes, we are now going to take a look at the critical role of digital infrastructure in driving economic growth and societal development, and what exactly is needed to establish a reliable and robust digital system. So to talk about the latest in technological advancements, cybersecurity, and policy frameworks for a future-ready society, I can think of no better panel lineup to tackle this topic. I'm now absolutely delighted to welcome and introduce a very dynamic group of leaders in this field, and what an incredible panel lineup we have for you today. First and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome His Excellency Abdullah bin Tok Al-Marri, the UAE Minister of Economy. A great pleasure and a great honor to have you here with us here today. And now, ladies and gentlemen, joining us here on the stage, please give a very warm welcome to Her Excellency Dr. Aisha Bin Bishr, who is Global Digital Transformation Expert and Strategic Leader in Smart City Initiatives. A very warm welcome. Your Excellency, really wonderful to have you here as well. Thank you for joining us. And now, rounding out our panel, ladies and gentlemen, please give a very warm welcome to Dr. Stephanie Hare, who is a technologist and researcher. As you can see, a very impressive panel lineup to kickstart day 2 for us. Please be seated. Thank you so much. Well, yes, as I mentioned, we're here to talk about the latest technological advancements, some of the policy framework issues, as well as cybersecurity when it comes to digital infrastructure. So I wanted to deep dive straight in with His Excellency Abdullah bin Tok Al-Marri. Really fantastic, as I mentioned, to have you here. Now, as we know, the digital landscape is changing at a rapid rate, and Web3 is very much leading the charge right now as well, I believe. So, of course, the UAE is making huge strides in this arena. So I wanted to start off with an update as to exactly what the UAE is doing in this regard right now, and what sort of further steps can be done in general to build a thriving digital economy.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you, everyone. First of all, I'd like to thank the Road and Transport Authority, His Excellency Matar Al-Tayar, and the team for organizing this, and the PMI, the Project Management Institute. And I'm very, very happy to be here this morning to really speak about the magnitude of the economy, and specifically on the digital and the transformation aspect. And give me a moment just to go back a little bit in history. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the Vice President, the Prime Minister rule of Dubai, back in the 90s, when he started with the transformation, if all remembers, we started with something called e-government. E-government today doesn't exist, but at that time, he pushed an understanding of a strategy to transform the whole government to e-government. We came then with something called the smart government. And everybody have to really take it up and change the government to smart. Today, in this digital world and digital government, I remember back in July 2020, when we were appointed as a minister in the Minister of Economy of the Cabinet, His Highness posted a tweet back then, today, platform X, and said to all ministers, and that tweet, that social media phrase still exists, said, I want the service in government to transform 50% into digital. So I took that in a moment, and this is a couple of opportunities in COVID-19. We don't want to go back, but I asked my team, I brought them around, and I said, where is our services at the moment? How many services do we have? They said, well, we have about 70 to 80 services providing. I said, how many service centers do we have? Oh, we have 7. We have seven service centers, 1 in each emirate. And with that said, I said, all right, where's the employees? Oh, they're working from home. Oh, that's perfect. Can we close all 7? Rather than hitting the target of 50%, can we hit the target of 100%? They looked at each other. They said, and they know that there's a new minister on the block, and I will not take a no for the answer. And I said, yes. And we moved all our services to be digital services since 2020, August 2020, and still operating. Today, we even introduced new services on that digital transformation. Second part, when we came, the government of the UAE asked from all the ministries to really focus on, before digital government, is to have a digital transformation strategy. Minister of Economy, we are the first ministry as well to really launch our first digital transformation aspect. Because whatever we do, when we change our services, when we change our data collection, when we change our systems and becomes more digital, it allows the private sector, it allows the economy to thrive even more. And with that said, this digital transformation that really occurred back in the last 3 years and 4 years, which we see a huge transformation of changes. I'm introducing new platforms, AI-driven platforms in this year and next year, from certification of IPs, trademarks, to registrations of companies. The National Economic Registrar today, we launched it last year in GITEX. Today is a leading platform that has connected more than 300 institutions in the UAE connected to the National Economic Registrar. With that digital transformation today, an investor can come to the UAE, can look, I want to invest, like say, in hospitality, or I want to invest in a healthcare. Where is the beds? How many hospital beds do we have? Where are they geolocated? How big are the investments? He can get the top-notch information that will help him to say, yes, I will invest and I want to land in this emirate, in this place, so that because there's a lack of beds over there. That kind of information today with these kind of digital transformation, not just providing services, but providing intelligence to the movement. One thing, the last thing I want to mention is that we managed to change. It is the trade over digital platforms, e-commerce. Today, the UAE e-commerce to the GDP is about $6.5 billion. We're expecting the GDP on e-commerce to rise up to $9.5 billion within the next couple of years. With that said, we changed the law that protects the e-commerce. Now, e-commerce to e-commerce is important. The next big thing for us is to create more of a fulfillment hub strategy. How does the UAE today provides catalogs of trade from the UAE to the region, to Iraq, to Uzbekistan, to Azerbaijan, to share catalogs? And fulfillment is something different. It's different than dispatch unit or the last mile. Fulfillment means if you order a pair of shoes, and there's a wrong size and you want to take it back, and you're in Baghdad or you're in Tashkent and you order it through an e-commerce, there's a way to return it back and bring it back. So not just around the UAE can play a big role in actually playing a fulfillment hub for the region by creating this law that helps as well connecting countries together. So that's kind of the digital transformation we're moving for. The UAE plays a hub on the digital e-commerce, and we want to move more than 9.5 billion in 2026. We want to even go beyond that.
I mean, it's unbelievable the progress that's been made, as you mentioned, just from 2020 and that vision going forward and how much really can be done. And as you mentioned as well, with this implementation of AI, which we're going to get to in just a moment, great strides are going to be done. But thank you so much for that brilliant update. Thank you, Your Excellency. Moving on to Her Excellency, Dr. Aisha Bin Bishr. Wonderful to have you here. Now, as we know, digital transformation is, of course, no longer a luxury. It's very much a necessity now. So as a global digital transformation expert and smart city leader and strategic leader in these types of initiatives, maybe you could give us an update on some of the most promising digital initiatives that we have in the landscape going on now, essentially to improve the quality for citizens and also enhance urban living as well. What are the most promising initiatives?
Sure, thank you, my dear, and good morning. Thank you, Your Excellency, Mr. Matar Al-Tayer, for inviting me to be part of this vital discussion where we explore the intersection between innovation, resilience, and collaboration in shaping the digital economy. Digital economy is not just a driver for progress. It's reshaping industries, societies, but also the way how we live. And we know by 2050, almost a third of the global population will live in cities, and this will make making the urban resiliency and the digital systems a real foundation for our future. Alhamdulillah, under the visionary leadership of Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Dubai and UAE embraced the artificial intelligence as a core enabler of smart city innovation. Also, His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed, the Crown Prince and Chairman of the Executive Office here in Dubai, Executive Council here in Dubai, he further advanced this vision by appointing chief artificial intelligence officers across government entities under the Dubai Universal Blueprint for Artificial Intelligence. This movement marks a pioneering milestone that I've never seen it in any other government. A leadership is a cornerstone in any digital transformation strategy and plans. And Dubai AI strategy is not just about adopting new technologies, it's about creating value for people and businesses, driving governance efficiency and empowering communities also. Today, I will highlight some of the initiatives that we've seen it here in Dubai, and I will give some examples from the globe. We have a smart police station, the SPS, offering 24/7 automated services in multiple languages, embracing accessibility and reducing bureaucracy, enhancing accessibilities. Blockchain integration, improving transparency and efficiency in governance. Dubai Pulse platform, centralizing real-time data to optimize urban planning and resource management. The 5G and IoT adoption, transforming infrastructure to enhance mobility, utilities, and energy efficiency. And we see this in our trams, in our metro, in our parking systems, and all the mobility infrastructure here in Dubai. As the cities that thrive report from the WIF 2024 report, at least this is one of the reports that's a bit optimistic, highlights that many global cities face implementation gaps in their digital strategies due to organizational silos and limit collaboration. And alhamdulillah, here in UAE, as His Excellency Mr. Bin Tog highlighted that once we have that vision from the leadership, all the governments started to work and implement all these digital transformation agendas, but also trying to break these silos, but by having a unified entities in each, whether it is a local government or a federal government, to break these silos. Some of the lessons we learned also globally, example from Athens and Cape Town, where they offer a very valuable lessons. Extreme application from Athens using GIS and satellite data. This app provides real-time heat risk assessments and guides residents to cooling centers during the heat waves during summer times. And water dashboard in Cape Town, real-time data inform public companies during a severe droughts, reducing water consumption at least by 57%. So there are plenty of great examples globally showing how digital transformation tools can enhance people's lives and businesses. To continue leading in urban resilience, Dubai can also further their projects by expanding smart mobility solutions, by advancing autonomous transportations and AI-driven traffic systems. And I know RTA is doing amazing projects to push that envelope when it comes to an industry. Adopt comprehensive digital twin technology to simulate urban environments for better planning and resource allocation. And I've seen a very amazing example in Moscow where this started in 2018, and today their digital twin, for people who visited Moscow, can see how life is so smooth in that city. Leveraging AI-powered citizen engagement platform from real-time feedback and participatory governance. We do have Dubai Smart Mejlis and the happiness meter, and they can even take it further. Use of AI for sustainability as a predictive analytics can help monitor environmental impacts and allocate resource effectively. These initiatives underscore how digital technologies and their visionary leadership can improve the quality of life for urban population worldwide, and at least break those silos that came as one of the challenges in the WEF report.
Well, as you mentioned, the impact on industry and trade and different areas of business is, it's been absolutely incredible and very fast moving as well. But as you mentioned, it's all about society and the people at the end of the day as well. And it's about ease of use, ease of access, and streamlining operations across sort of every sector, really, isn't it? So, Dr. Stephanie, wonderful to have you here, flown in all the way from the UK, I believe, based in London. So, great to have you here. Now, you are a technologist and researcher, so you've got a really fantastic background in all of this as well. So, with such vast experience in this sector, tell us a little bit more about some of the emerging technology that you're seeing when it comes to the development that can contribute to the development of a more resilient digital economy.
Thank you very much. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here. Thank you for the invitation. One of the things that I'm here to share, we had a discussion backstage about how we might sometimes look at the world as a series of challenges or problems to be solved, and that with a mental shift, we can change that and look at it as opportunities, which is a more positive way of thinking about it. And in the United Kingdom this week, the Prime Minister gave a speech talking about the AI Opportunities Action Plan that the United Kingdom is now going to be implementing. The United Kingdom is the number 3 country in the world for artificial intelligence, a very long distance, it must be said, behind the United States and China, which have much bigger investment and populations and data. But I also think the ambition to try to stay number 3, and we're going to be having the AI Action Summit, another action opportunities moment in Paris next month. We're seeing that more and more countries are understanding the potential and the limitations at the moment of artificial intelligence. So what does it mean to make the most of that opportunity so that we are more resilient, so that we maintain cybersecurity and keep our businesses and our governments and our populations safe, but also that we don't stay conservative, we remain ambitious, and we think big. So we want to be thinking about data. We have a lot of data. Elon Musk just gave an interview last week saying that the world is running out of data. That's a philosophical question, but I would actually disagree. I think we're just getting started with how we think about data, and that's an opportunity for every country around the world. Most of the data that we're using to train artificial intelligence on is based on the English language, for example. And we all know, as we are speaking here today, the world isn't just an English world. And thank goodness. The opportunity to harness the potential of all humanity, all of the data that's out there, is very rich and very untapped in my view. The second is computer processing power. So in that, we're talking about things like supercomputers. So the United Kingdom is going to be building a new supercomputer. And it needs to, because right now it's behind. It doesn't have one that's in the top 50 machines globally. And in this day and age, investing in your supercomputer is like investing in your infrastructure. When we think about artificial intelligence, it can sound really abstract, but it isn't. It's about electricity grids, most of which are not fit for purpose. It's about potentially nuclear power, because we need to think about how are we going to power and provide energy for data centers in a way that's climate friendly, because they're very energy intensive. And it's about water, because large language models, all the things that you're using to run a ChatGPT or any other type of generative AI are very water intensive. 0.5 liter of water is used every time you have an exchange with ChatGPT for 20 to 50 Q&As. And most people don't realize that the water and electricity bill for generative AI is so big, and it is. And we're just getting started with this technology. So you can imagine the resource that will need to be used if we really want to go big on AI. At the moment, I think we are at the infancy of this technology. We have such a journey to go, and we're going to need every country on Earth to talk about how we're going to build that infrastructure and to share it equitably. But we don't want to just think about infrastructure or data or computer processing power. The key thing for resiliency, the key thing for cybersecurity, and the key thing for AI remains human talent. What are we doing to help educate not just our young people, but also everybody who's in the workforce right now, as well as our elders, to make sure that they aren't left behind when it comes to AI, that they get to benefit and be part of artificial intelligence? I co-present a show on the BBC called Artificial Intelligence Decoded, which you can also find on YouTube. And we're going to be doing a story this week set here in the UAE about how surgeons are using artificial intelligence to provide healthcare. It's an incredible story, and it's a positive story. So when we think about AI, we need to think about all of the different ways in which human talent is flourishing and how AI can support it. That means education, that means skills, and that means sharing best practice, which is part of why it's so wonderful to be here today and have cross-cultural dialogue. Thank you.
Very well said. And as you mentioned, it's very much turning these challenges into opportunities. We're right at the beginning of all of this right now, so it's getting things right, or correct right now, sort of going forward and making sure that we don't, we're learning as we go along, I suppose, aren't we? Your Excellency, Abdullah bin Al Marri. Now, the UAE Vision 2031 very much involves the use of data for sustainable development. We were speaking about data a little bit earlier on there, as well as the government and private sector partnerships as well. And we use this word collaboration at a lot of these conferences. It's thrown around quite a lot, but I really wanted to know what the essence of that collaboration is when it comes to the UAE government and the private sector as well. How can we effectively collaborate to really achieve these goals, do you think?
Very importantly here, just to talk about the future. I think the future is PPP. What does it mean? It means when it comes to innovation, creativity, taking risks, it is the PPP, it's public-private partnerships. Yes, we do have laws in Dubai and the federal government and PPP strategic initiatives, but they're mostly focused on mega infrastructure. With all respect to the engineers in the room, I'm a civil engineer myself. But I think the most important aspect as well is not just that, the aspect of how can we trust the private sector in leading innovation and creativity. And we've seen many topics. UAE government today have a sandbox called the RegLab. RegLab, where you bring a private sector who has an innovation, but the laws doesn't allow it to actually, or there's no law actually or legislation for it to commit. And we work with saying, all right, how about I give you a testing license for about 12 months to try innovating in this field, maybe in a geolocation, maybe at a set of amount of money of losses, because you don't want them to go and experiment so much and then comes back and claiming the loss by saying this is the amount that I want you to bar it off, and you have a 6 month to test the technology. Now we've done that. We've done it in the RegLab, me personally as well as the chairman of the General Civil Aviation Authority, the government of the UAE. We are working now with the max payload of 500 ton vertical takeoff and landing vehicle. Is already being tested in the United States to move a half a ton logistics from one point to another. So with this kind of technology and moving, you have to allow space and an opportunity for experimentation to test technology and the future. Now, they might be in the gray, they might be illegal, but these are the way to actually take it forward to advanced economies. Now, when you look at the UAE's economy has a huge and diversified economy. We're 75% non-GDP. We're the highest non-GDP in the MENA region. 75% is one of the highest. The target is to reach 80%. No. We're gonna get the 5 extra percent. We're not going to get it from aviation, or we're going to get it from retail or hospitality. We need to get it from new economies. And that kind of the conversation and narrative that we need to really speak about, how do we create that kind of narrative? Where is the space for it to happen? The cabinet of the UAE allowed autonomous vehicle testing. We've seen in Dubai today testing for drones, logistics of the last mile. We've seen testing beds. So the UAE, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, have given the UAE's land as a test bed for the world's technology to be tested on.
Very impressive indeed. As you mentioned, trust, experimentation, and these new emerging economies as well. Very impressive indeed. I'm a little conscious of the time. Just a couple of questions left, but back to Her Excellency, Dr. Aisha Bin Bishr. I wanted to touch a little bit more on AI, because of course, we've touched on it a little bit, but I wanted to deep dive a little bit more. So obviously you're very well versed in future smart cities as well. So tell us a little bit more about some of the strategies that you think some of the organizations here can implement to future-proof themselves essentially, and to really drive their own AI transformations.
Sure. To future-proof organization and drive AI adoption effectively, first, we must believe that AI is enhancing our capabilities. We as a human, we as a people, because in the last 5 years, the sphere of dealing with AI was taking over. So we need to say, no, AI is augmenting our capabilities. AI will drive efficiency and also drive economy. By embedding AI into strategic planning, aligning AI with our strategic goal, and allowing using the AI tools to predictive analytics to anticipate urban challenges such as resource shortages or extreme weathers. There is a huge potential to use AI in these areas. Foster a culture of innovation. As Your Excellency said, we need to have these hubs that allow people to explore using AI, but also by upskilling employees and create open labs for all innovators to come and explore AI applications, and not only government services, but also private sector services. Leveraging data as a strategic asset. Build scalable infrastructure and governance frameworks to enable real-time decision-making. And when we are talking about scaling data, we've done a lot around enhancing services, but we need to do a lot when it's come to decision-making. Focus on ethical AI. You've said that we need to bring everyone globally to utilize AI, not only the English version, but all the other versions. But I think we need to focus more into the ethics of using AIs. I do believe that Dubai AI strategy ensures transparency, fairness, and alignment with the global governance standards by having our own ethics also here. And collaborate across ecosystem. Break down silos by fostering partnership between not only government to government, but also government, private sector, and academia. We do have a lot of examples here in Dubai. Across government, we can see from RTA to Dubai Water and Electricity Authority, Dubai Economy, but also with the private sector, Dubai Economy, and for example, MAF and I'mar. There's a lot of this kind of collaboration we want to see more. As the WEF report emphasized, cities must integrate diverse data sets and stakeholders to address resilience challenges. For example, New York City's resilience strategy highlights how digital tools can solve pressing urban challenges and foster community cohesion. Dubai's also comprehensive AI strategy positions it as a global leader in that area.
Very well said. Now, leading on to that, actually, off the back of this, Dr. Stephanie, successful digital transformation isn't just about implementing these different types of tools. It's very much about strategic integration of this type of technology. So what are the issues around that? And what sort of advice can you give our audience here today when it comes to navigating complex digital implementation into their business, for example?
So I think when we all think about digital solutions that we enjoy using, where we would protest if it was taken away from us and we had to go back to how we used to use it, what are the things that we value? We value that it's reliable, it always works. We value that we can trust it, we know that it will work, and we feel safe with our data, we feel safe using it, we're not a little bit hesitant. Maybe we feel that we've even helped co-create it, that this is a solution that actually solves a problem that we as an individual need or that our community needs. It's not that it's being imposed on us, we're grateful to have it. So those questions of trust, how you roll out a digital solution piece by piece so that people feel that they can feedback, get used to it, get comfortable, and then enjoy it. I always feel that a digital solution, you know it's successful when you almost don't realize that it's part of your life anymore. It's just so seamless. And then that test of if someone took it away from you, would you not care? Or would you be like, no, I can't live with this anymore, I have to have it. Those are the things. So I think as a designer, I've built technological solutions before, having that humility to always approach it from how is the user going to be experiencing this technological solution on a day-to-day basis, really making sure that you have buy-in with them at every stage and that the feedback loop is very open. I often find that's what makes for the best design. So thinking about those things of design and ethics and values that we were discussing, that's what's going to make a human technological partnership succeed.
Thank you so much. We have run out of time, sadly, but I would love for His Excellency Abdullah bin Al-Mari, the UAE Minister of Economy, to leave us with a final thought, maybe a key takeaway for our audience here today.
Thank you, Laura. No pressure. If I want to leave one thing with each and everyone in this room, the question is around what's your digital transformation? On the entity level, on your department level, on your section level, on yourself. Now, with digital transformation, I mean, if you know what is the digital transformation strategy for the entity, then what's yours, and how can you contribute to that? Then how are we going to project manage it? Because we need to go back to project management. And the importance of, to digital transform the whole organization, you have a vision, but you have the whole institution to work together in collaboration. Now, there's a lot of people here. Everyone works in every section and department. There's a digital transformation. It has creativity. It has AI. It has PPP in it. How would you do it? How do you put it together? How are you going to come up with, and how are you going to transform your institution, whether it's private or public, in that kind of transformation? So the word goes to each and every one in the room. Thank you very much.
Very well said. A fascinating look there at some of the avenues around establishing a reliable and robust digital system to enhance the digital economy. Your Excellencies, Dr. Stephanie, we cannot thank you enough for being with us here today. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for our panel. Thank you.